Have you ever entered a room and completely forgot what it was doing there? Or, perhaps you had difficulty remembering the name of a longtime friend during a conversation? After 60 years, these small lapses of memory, they seem to occur more and more often. Know that you are not alone. Memory problems affect approximately 40% of people with more than 60 years, causing from small daily forgetfulness to concerns significant about future dementia. But what if the solution to revitalize your memory was much closer then? Do you imagine? Directly on your plate? Recent research reveals connections surprising between certain foods and brain health, especially in relation to cognitive functions such as memory and learning. In this article, we will explore 5 specific foods with scientifically proven properties to combat the decline of memory in people over 60. It is not miraculous healing, but food options with bioactive compounds that directly influence the neurological mechanisms related to preservation and memory improvement. Why does memory decline after 60 years? Before we dive into foods that can transform your brain health, it is fundamental to understand why memory naturally becomes more fragile with the advance from age. After 60, several factors contribute to the decline. Cognitive reduction of brain volume. We lost approximately 5% of brain volume per decade after 40 years. Decreased neuroplasticity, the brain becomes less flexible to form new connections. Chronic low-degree chronic inflammation, the so-called inflammaging negatively affects neural function. Increased oxidative stress, damage caused by free radicals accumulate. Brain cells, changes in brain circulation, reduction of blood flow limits supply, oxygen and nutrients. Dr. Ricardo Montero, neuroscientist specializing in brain aging, explains, the brain is extremely sensitive to nutrition. Unlike thought a few decades ago, we now know that many aspects of the decline, cognitive, are not inevitable, but modifiable through nutritional interventions. Specific. The right nutrients can literally change the structure and function. Cerebral. Even at advanced ages. Donna Cecilia, 78, shares her experience. I started to forget names, commitments, where I put things. It was scary. My daughter, who is nutritionist, suggested changes in my diet. I confess that I was skeptical in beginning, but I decided to try. After a few months, not only me, but all around me, noticed the difference. It's not that I don't forget anything, but the frequency and intensity of the forgetfulness decreased considerably. Let's now know the 5 foods that can transform this reality. Food number 1, blueberry, the blue neural protector. The blueberry leads our list for a convincing reason. It is possibly food more studied and proven to protect memory in people with more than 60 years. Rich in anthocyanins, flavonoids, resveratrol and ellagic acid, this small, blue fruit offers a multifaceted approach to combat cognitive decline, related to age. How the blueberry helps improve memory. Exceptional concentration of anthocyanins, these pigments that give the color blue, purplish, cross the blood-bone barrier and accumulate in regions crucial brain for memory, such as the hippocampus. Studies show that anthocyanins increase neuronal communication and stimulate neurogenesis, formation of new neurons. Potent anti-inflammatory action. Chronic inflammation is one of the main factors in cognitive decline. Blueberry compounds reduce cytokine production. Inflammatory brain, protecting the delicate circuits of memory. Improvement of cerebral blood flow. Blueberry flavonoids increase production. Nitric oxide, promoting vasodilation and increasing blood flow to the brain up to 30%, as shown in neuroimaging studies. Protection against oxidative stress. The brain is particularly vulnerable to free radical damage due to its high oxygen consumption. The antioxidants of the blueberry neutralize these radicals, preserving neuronal integrity. A study published in the Annals of Neurology accompanied 6,010 women with more 70 years for 6.5 years. Those that consumed at least one portion of blueberries per week presented cognitive aging equivalent to someone 2.5 younger years. In another study with adults between 60 to 75 years with mild cognitive impairment, daily consumption of blueberries for 16 weeks led to significant improvements in verbal memory tests and task execution. Dr. Paulo Medeiros, a neurologist specializing in cognitive disorders, explains, not only the blueberry reduces oxidative damage to existing brain cells, but it also creates an environment conducive to adult neurogenesis, the formation of new neurons even at advanced ages. Particularly in the hippocampus, crucial region, for the formation of new memories, this effect can be transformative. Mr. Alberto, 83, shares his transformation. I was getting worried. With my memory, I could no longer remember important names and dates. My neurologist suggested that I include blueberries daily in my diet. I started eating 1 cup a day, sometimes fresh, sometimes frozen. After 3 months, I realized that I was remembering details in recent conversations, something that had become rare. My wife was the first to notice the difference, commenting how I was more present in our conversations, how to incorporate blueberries into the diet. Fresh consumption, a daily cup, approximately 140 grams, already provides measurable benefits for memory. Frozen blueberries, equally nutritious and more accessible throughout the year, are excellent in smoothies or thawed for direct consumption. Not sweetened blueberry juice, although less powerful than whole fruit due to loss of some fiber, still offers significant benefits. Dehydrated blueberries, a convenient option for snacks, although it should be preferred. Sugarless versions added. Nutritionist Dr. Carla Martinez highlights, for the elderly with difficulty access to fresh blueberries due to cost or seasonal availability, 2 alternatives, accessible and also rich in anthocyanins, are Brazilian jabuticaba and acai. Although specific studies on memory have been performed with blueberries, other dark purple fruits share many of the same compounds. Neuroprotectors. Important note, to maximize cognitive benefits, combine blueberries with a source of healthy fat, such as nuts or integral natural yogurt, as many neuroprotective compounds are better absorbed in the presence of lipids. Food number 2, fatty fish, memory builders. The fatty fish of cold waters, especially salmon, sardines, herring, herd, horsetail and trout, represent one of the most fundamental pillars for health. Cerebral after 60 years. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA and EPA, vitamin D, vitamin B12 and selenium, these fish provide the blocks, essential builders for the maintenance and repair of memory circuits. How fatty fish help to improve memory. Structural DHA. DHA is approximately 40% of fatty acids in the brain, and is a fundamental component of neuronal membranes. With aging, the ability to synthesize DHA decreases, making it essential to obtain through diet. Anti-inflammatory properties. EPA helps solve inflammatory processes in the brain that interfere with neuronal communication and storage of memories. Promotion of neuroplasticity. Omega-3 increases the production of BDNF factor, brain-derived neurotrophic, a protein that acts as fertilizer, new neurons and connections. Improvement of brain microstructure. Magnetic resonance studies show that regular consumption of fatty fish is associated with the greater integrity of cerebral white substance, crucial for communication between different regions. A survey published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine accompanied 260 cognitively healthy elderly for 5 years. Those who consumed fish, fatty at least twice a week had 13% less decline in verbal memory and speed of mental processing compared to those who rarely consumed fish. Even more impressive, a neuroimaging study showed that regular fish consumers had a higher volume of matter, gray in cerebral regions associated with memory. Dr. Fernanda Lopes, a neuroscientist specializing in brain nutrition, explains, "The DHA is not just another brain nutrient, it is absolutely fundamental. When there is deficiency, neuronal membranes become rigid and synaptic communication is compromised. It's like trying to run sophisticated software on a computer with damaged hardware." For the elderly brain, which naturally loses DHA over time, regular consumption of fatty fish represents a basic structural intervention. Donna Teresa, 76, shares her experience. "I was having more and more difficulty in reminding me of commitments and messages. My doctor found that my omega-3 levels were very low and recommended that I eat more fatty fish. I started to include sardines or salmon at least 3 times a week. In 2 months, I've noticed a difference in my mental clarity. After 6 months, my family commented on how I was more sharp in conversations and remembered details that once escaped." How to incorporate fatty fish into the diet. Regular consumption. The ideal is to include 2 to 3 weekly portions of fatty fish, being each serving of approximately 100 to 120 grams. Species variation. Switching between different fatty fish not only prevents the eating boredom, but also provides slightly different nutritional profiles. Preserves as an alternative. Sardines and horsetail canned in water or olive oil are convenient and economic options, preserving much of the benefits. Nutritional. Attention to preparation. Soft cooking methods such as grilling, baking in low temperature or steam cooking better preserve fatty acids sensitive to oxidation. Geriatrician Dr. Roberto Campos adds, for elderly with limited budget, canned sardines perhaps the best cost-benefit ratio in terms of brain nutrition. Is rich in omega-3, vitamin D and calcium, and costs a fraction of the price of fresh salmon. The important thing is the consistency in consumption. Environmental consideration. Opt preferably by fish of sustainable origin. Many smaller species like sardines and horses are not only more accessible economically, but also tend to have less accumulation of contaminants as mercury. Food number 3, nuts and seeds, synaptic protectors. Walnuts and seeds, especially common nuts, pumpkin seeds, flaxseed and chia, represent an extraordinarily valuable food category for health. Cerebral after 60 years. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin E, unique magnesium, zinc and antioxidants, they offer a powerful combination of nutrients that specifically protect the synapses, the connections between neurons, essential for the formation and recovery of memories. How nuts and seeds help improve memory. Exceptional concentration of vitamin E. This powerful antioxidant protects neuronal membranes against oxidative damage. Studies show that disability of vitamin E is strongly associated with the worst cognitive performance in the elderly. Vegetable omega-3 fatty acids, wing, although less powerful than sources, marine, the wing still contributes to brain health, especially when consumed regularly in Mediterranean or vegetarian diets. Neuroprotective polyphenols, especially in walnuts, these compounds reduce the inflammation and cerebral oxidative stress, two critical factors in the decline of memory, related to age. High magnesium content. This mineral is essential for synaptic plasticity, synapses' ability to strengthen or weaken over time, fundamental for the formation of new memories. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging accompanied 447 elderly for 3 years. Those who consumed at least 10 grams of nuts daily showed significant improvement in working memory and speed, cognitive processing. In another impressive study, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, people who consumed nuts 5 times a week, they had 53% less risk of developing age-related dementia. Dr. Helen Acosta, neuropsychologist specializing in cognitive aging, explains what makes walnuts and seeds particularly valuable to the brain. Elderly is your ability to protect existing synapses. While many interventions focus on creating new connections, equally important is to preserve those which we already have, and this is where these foods stand out, thanks to their unique combination of antioxidants and essential fatty acids. Mr. Jorge, 79, shares his transformation. I was noticing that my memory for recent names and events was worsening gradually. My son, who is a doctor, suggested that I eat a handful of nuts and seeds every day. I established the habit of consuming a tablespoon of walnut and seed mix every morning with my breakfast. After 4 months, I noticed a striking difference. I was remembering details of recent conversations and rarely forgotten where I had stored important objects. How to incorporate walnuts and seeds into the diet. Daily consumption, approximately 30 grams, of walnuts and seeds already provides significant benefits. Sounds like walnut butter or tahini, side folder, are excellent for those who have difficulty chewing. Soak in water for 6 to 8 hours before consumption increases the bioavailability of minerals and makes digestion easier, especially important for the elderly. For elderly people who need to control weight, 30 grams daily, approximately 1 tablespoonful, already provide significant cognitive benefits without adding excessive calories. The quality and consistency of consumption import more than the amount. Storage tip: because they are rich in oils, walnuts and seeds can easily oxidize. To preserve their neuroprotective benefits, store them in hermetic containers in the refrigerator or freezer, especially in hot climates. Much more than an exotic seasoning, is one of the most powerful natural neuroprotectors ever studied. Its main active compound, curcumin, offers a multifaceted approach to combat the decline of memory associated with aging, with action mechanisms that surprise even the most skeptical researchers. A trophic derived from the brain, promoting the birth of new neurons specifically in the hippocampus, central brain for the formation of new memories. Powerful cerebral anti-inflammatory action. Chronic neuroinflammation is one of the largest contributors to cognitive decline. Curcumin inhibits various inflammatory pathways in the central nervous system. Dissolution of amyloid plaques. Preclinical studies show that curcumin can help reduce the accumulation of amyloid plaques, a characteristic of Alzheimer's disease. Oxidative stress protection. Curcumin not only neutralizes free radicals, but also activates brain endogenous antioxidant enzymes. A remarkable survey published in the American Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry evaluated 40 adults between 51 to 84 years with light complaints of memory. Those who received 90 milligrams of curcumin twice a day for 18 months showed significant improvements in memory and attention compared to the placebo group. Even more impressive, PET tests revealed less accumulation of amyloid and tau, Alzheimer's markers, in the hippocampus and tonsil of participants who consumed curcumin. Dr. Antonio Garcia, a neuroscientist specializing in neuroprotective nutrients, explains, what makes curcumin so extraordinary is its ability to act on multiple mechanisms simultaneously. While many compounds have a single mechanism of action, curcumin combats cognitive decline on several fronts, reducing inflammation, fighting oxidative stress, promoting neuroplasticity, and even directly attacking placations. Donna Lourdes, 82, shares her transformation. I was getting scared of my frequent forgetfulness, even forgetting conversations I had had the day before. My geriatrician suggested that I am included daily in food. In Maro's 2 months I did not notice difference, but after 4 months, I began to realize that I was more attentive and remembered better of recent events. Minha familia foi a primeira a comentar sobre a melhora, como incorporar curcuma à dieta, golden milk, leite dourado, combinao de curcuma com leite, animal ou vegetal, e uma pitada de pimenta preta para aumentar a absorção, tempero culinario, adicione a refogados, arroz, sopas e ensopados. Sempre inclua pouco de gordura saudável e pimenta preta na preparação. Smoothies, uma pitada de curcuma pode ser adicionada a smoothies de frutas, especialmente aqueles com ingredientes gordurosos como abacate ou iogurte. Suplementação, para efeitos terapêuticos mais consistentes, existem formulações de curcumina com biodisponibilidade aumentada, sempre sob orientação médica. A nutricionista draw. Marcia Oliveira destaca, o grande desafio com a curcumina e sua baixa biodisponibilidade. O corpo absorve muito pouco do composto na forma comum. 3 estratégias aumentam significativamente a absorção. Combina lá com piperina, presente na pimenta preta, consumi lá junto com alguma gordura saudável, e utilizar calor moderado no preparo. Dica prática, para boost cognitivo rápido antes de atividades que exigem memória e concentração. Experimente uma xícara de chá verde com 1/4 colher de chá de curcuma, uma pitada de pimenta preta e fio de azeite ou óleo de coco. Esta combinao maximiza a absorção e proporciona efeitos perceptíveis em aproximadamente 30 to 60 minutos. Alimento number 5, vegetais crucíferos, os desintoxicantes cerebrais. Completando nossa lista de alimentos transformadores para a memória após os 60 anos, temos os vegetais crucíferos, especialmente brócolis, couve-flor, couve de Bruxelas, rucola e couve. Ricos em sulforaphano, isothiocyanate, folato, vitamina K e compostos antioxidantes. Estes vegetais oferecem uma abordagem única para proteger e revitalizar as células cerebrais responsáveis pela memória, como os vegetais crucíferos ajudam a melhorar a memória. Ativação de via NRF2, o sulforaphano, composto encontrado especialmente no brócolis. Ativa esta via genética que aumenta significativamente a produção de enzimas, antioxidantes endógenas no cerebro. Cell detoxification, isotociantes enhance the ability of the liver to eliminate toxins, reducing the load of neurotoxic compounds that reach the brain. Rich folate content. Folate is essential for the synthesis of memory-related neurotransmitters and repair of neural DNA. The deficiency is strongly associated with cognitive decline. Specific anti-inflammatory compounds, glucosinolates present in these plants become compounds that reduce neuroinflammation in a specific way. A study published in Neurology accompanied 960 adults between 58 to 99 years for 5 years. Those who consumed at least one portion of cruciferous vegetables daily showed significantly lower cognitive decline rate, equivalent to being 11 years younger cognitively. Another research with 13,388 women noted that those with the highest crucifer consumption has maintained higher verbal memory over decades. Dr. Felipe Rodriguez, a dementia prevention neurologist, explains, what differs crucifers from other healthy vegetables is their unique ability to activate brain endogenous protection mechanisms. Instead of simply providing antioxidants, they teach the brain to produce their own, a much more potent and lasting effect. In addition, their detoxifying action reduces neuronal exposure to composite that can slowly compromise the function. Mr. Eduardo, 75, shares his experience. I always had difficulty with vegetables, but when I started to have serious memory problems, my doctor insisted that I incorporate broccoli and kale into my daily diet. My daughter started preparing soups and sautéed that made it easier to consume them. After a few months, I realized that I was much more alerted. How to incorporate cruciferous vegetables into the diet. Regular consumption. The ideal is to include at least one portion of crucifers daily. A portion is approximately 1 cup of raw crucifers or half cups cooked. Proper preparation. Cooking lightly in steam PR. More nutrients than the prolonged cooking. To maximize the formation of sulforaphane, cut the vegetables and let them stand for 10 minutes before cooking. Green smoothies. For the elderly with chewing difficulty, add leaves as arugula and cabbage. Baby smoothies offers the benefits without texture problems. Soups and purees, easier options to consume for those who have dental problems. Nutritionist Dr. Livia Santos suggests, for the elderly who find the taste of very strong crucifers, I recommend starting with broccoli prepared in steam and finished with a drizzle of olive oil and lemon, or cauliflower added to smoothies from fruits. The important thing is the constancy. Significant benefits for memory. They appear with regular long-term consumption. Important consideration. People undergoing anticoagulants as warfarin should maintain consistent consumption, without large variations, of crucifers, due to the content of vitamin K, which can interfere with these medications. How to create a strategy to enhance your memory. Now that we know the 5 transforming foods for memory, let's go understand how to combine them in a practical and personalized strategy. Basic protocol for optimization of memory in the elderly. Morning. 1 cup of blueberries, fresh or frozen, with walnuts and seeds. 1 tablespoon. Scrambled eggs or omelet with cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, spinach. Lunch. Salad containing cruciferous vegetables, arugula, kale, seasoned with olive oil and turmeric. Include fatty fish 2 to 3 times a week. Afternoon snack. Mix of nuts and seeds, 1 tablespoon, or blueberry smoothie with chia and flaxseed. To have lunch. Steam prepared cruciferous vegetables, golden milk, drink with turmeric, as dessert or before bed. Neurologist Dr. Carlos Eduardo Silva recommends, for perceptible results in cognitive function, I suggest what I call the Rule 3-2-1. Consume at least 3 of these food daily, combine at least 2 of them in each main meal, and keep this pattern for at least 1 year. Neuroplasticity and regeneration. Cerebral are gradual processes that require consistency. Adaptations for specific conditions. For diabetics, reduce portions of blueberries, half cup at a time, and consume proteins or fats to mitigate the glycemic impact. Emphasize cruciferous vegetables and fatty fish. Use turmeric regularly, which helps improve insulin sensitivity. For hypertensive people, all 5 foods are beneficial for blood pressure. Give special emphasis on fatty fish and cruciferous vegetables. If you use fish preserves, choose versions with low sodium. For those who take anticoagulants, consult your doctor about the consumption of cruciferous vegetables rich in vitamin K. Keep consumption consistent without major variations in ingestion. Use the other 4 foods on the list without restrictions, in addition to feeding, memory enhancers. To maximize the benefits of food for memory, some practices, complementary or fundamental. Regular exercise. Dr. Roberto Almeida, a dementia prevention neurologist, explains, exercise is probably the only treatment that rivals the nutrition in terms of memory benefits. Studies show that 150 minutes, moderate activity weekly increase the volume of the hippocampus by up to 2%, while without exercise, there is a natural atrophy of about 1 to 2% per year after the 60 years. Recommendation: combine aerobic exercises such as walking with training, light strength, 3 to 5 times a week, constant cognitive challenge. Neuroscientist Dr. Mariana Costa warns, the brain follows the principle use or lose. Activities that challenge cognitively are essential to form new neural connections. The ideal are progressively more difficult and varied activities, not just repeat what is already known to do. Suggestions: learn a new language or musical instrument, strategy games, reading unknown themes, changing established routines. Quality sleep. Sleep is when the brain consolidates recent memories and performs its cleaning through the glymphatic system. Chronic sleep deprivation is strongly associated with memory impairment and greater risk of dementia. Recommendation: prioritize 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep, keeping schedules consistent to lie down and get up when. Seek professional help. Although the foods mentioned can bring significant benefits, it is important to recognize when memory problems require medical evaluation. Forgetting that interfere with daily activities, difficulty learning and retaining new information, spatial disorientation in family environments, language problems, such as forgetting common words often, personality changes along with memory problems. Geriatra Dr. Luciana Ferraz emphasizes, neuroprotective diet works better, as prevention and as part of an integrated approach. For those who already present significant cognitive impairment, these foods are important adjuvants, but do not replace specialized medical evaluation and treatment. Conclusion: nutrition as an investment in your future memory. When we finish our journey through the 5 transforming foods for memory, blueberries, fatty fish, walnuts and seeds, turmeric and cruciferous vegetables, evident that proper food represents one of the most powerful strategies to preserve and even improve our cognitive capacity after 60 years, as summarized Dr. Fernando Barros, a neuroscientist specializing in brain aging. What we choose to eat daily not only affects our cardiovascular health or weight, but literally shapes our brain. Today's dietary choices determine largely what our cognitive capacity in 5, 10 or 20 years. The good news is that it is never too late for start. The elderly brain keeps impressive regeneration capacity when you receive the right nutrients. Imagine being able to easily remember names, dates, and commitments. Visualize actively participating in conversations, without that frustration of losing the thread of reasoning or forgetting words. Think about preserving your precious memories and continue to create new ones for many years. This is not an empty promise, but a possibility based on science, modern, and starts with simple choices in your next meal. How about starting today? Perhaps with a portion of blueberries at breakfast, a handbook of nuts-like snack, or a delicious roasted fish at dinner. Your memory, and your quality of life. Thank you.